free from doing tax prep because normally we would not see Missy from January 1 till like May.
Right.
Every year for years. How long have we been working together, Missy? It's been a while.
7 years.
Has it been 7 years?
Been 7 years. Yeah. And I've been in real estate 100% for 2 years.
Awesome. And that's when you finally got free from doing tax returns. And now
Right.
you seem more
Yeah.
at peace right now. You should have seen her 5, 3, 4, 5 years. It was all crazy like tax people. So what do you
Yeah.
see in the market? What have you noticed, Missy? Same thing Steve's saying?
Okay. Yeah, same thing. So my focus this year is listings, of course. That's what I'm wanting to do. So the different people that I'm talking to, they are afraid to list their homes because there's not much out there. So, I'm talking to them about a large rent back. That wasn't seeming to get, what I wanted. So I did come up with an idea for one gentleman, and if it works, I think I'm going to float. I'm like, okay, let's say we get you a 4-month rent back and you still don't find a house. Worst case scenario, do an Airbnb. You just move in with your clothes, put your stuff in storage. We'll find you a house while you get to cash in on the great equity that you have. So I'll let you know if that works, but I'm having a tough time getting some sellers off the fence because they're just so afraid they're not going to find a home.
So I want to talk, you're hitting the nail on the head. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of the buyer, like what they're experiencing, like anxiety, stress, or Valerie, how about you? What is the psychology that I'm going to go back to you, Missy, with the sellers, but Valerie, what do you think the psychology is? What's in the head? You're trying to buy a home right now. What are you experiencing emotionally, psychologically? How do you feel? You're a buyer. You're trying to buy your first home for 400,000. What is it like for you as the buyer? Put yourself in those shoes.
I think most of the time they're super excited at first, and then it doesn't always work out the first 2 or 3 offers, and then it tends to lead to discouragement. So it's all about, I find as the agent, it's all about trying to keep the encouragement level up and say, we're getting closer, we're almost there, because sometimes you pull out all the stops and you still don't know what you're competing against. So it doesn't end up working out because sometimes the listing agents won't give you any information. So yeah, I find, and what Missy said too, I've had a lot of sellers that are like, I'm not even going to sell my house because I know there's nothing out there that I want. And so it's trying to give them different ways to stay encouraged about the fact that they will find something and, to take advantage of this seller's market right now.
Right. And you could do reversal. You could sell their home, make it contingent upon their ability to go find one. If they can't find one,
right.
They don't
That's
sell.
what
Their home sold in escrow. And then but even then the seller's like, why deal with that? Because what if the buyer backs out, right? Think about this. What if the buyer backs out or something goes on with the loan? You know how those lenders are, Alicia, just kidding. But, something goes wrong with the loan. And then, I have an all cash offer here or a conventional offer of 200,000 down and it's closed in 10 days, less moving parts. So really what you got to do is you got to sell your seller on the fact that we're going to sell this home and get top dollar. And I am networked with these stars, the elite superstars. And then ask the people here on this thing, ask Sonia Emmers, ask other people that are at other broke, Kevin McDonald's from Prado Real Estate. It's okay. And tell them we hang out. And then what do you got? Rob Wolf over there at Remax. What do you got? And then work harder, really work for your client and be looking, turning over rocks, kicking rocks, turning over leaves, looking, and then you find someone and you're going to sell them on that and go, we're going to sell it. We're going to set you up a 1-year rent back and you're going to stay where you are, but you're going to shop with cash. You're going to be a cash buyer or worst case, a conventional buyer plopping down 100, 2, 3, 4, 500,000 down. And we can close in 10 days because we've got all the pre-stuff done. Does that make sense? And that's your job. You're going to have to sell the seller on that. Because if you put a listing on the market, it's done unless the price is so ridiculous, right? Sometimes you price it high and you're shocked that it goes higher. Alicia, before I go back to you, Missy, on seller psychology, Alicia does loans. She's our mortgage broker. We love Alicia. We love you, Alicia. You're amazing. What do you do to encourage your buyers to hang in there as the loan officer when they get a little depressed? What do you do?
Well, I was gonna comment because I'm actually getting a lot more stuff, people getting into contract right now and buyers getting highly motivated right now. and being willing to fudge on their criteria and go a little bit farther out. I'm seeing a lot more rural areas and people wanting to get away and being open to the Placervilles and the Shingle Springs and the up away from people. I've been bringing up, hey, go check out Linda. So I've been encouraging people to, hey, get out of your comfort zone, like go a little bit of a drive. Like, how often are you really seeing people right now? Don't you work from home? And then they're like, you know what, you're totally right. I do work from home. I don't need to be as close as I thought. And my kids are still doing school virtually. And so I'm like, how often do you have to drive into school? Like, think about this. And so getting people to think outside the box, I'm seeing a lot more buyers giving up their perfect idea of what they want and being willing to be flexible. And that's the thing, is they're not going to maybe find their perfect home, but they're going to get so much for their home right now when they sell, they can take some of that cash and make it perfect. So they got to keep an open mind, right? So I've been seeing a lot more buyers getting serious right now, getting more serious and wanting to try again, which has been exciting. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Alicia.
I can hear you.
He's sitting
Okay,
awfully
perfect.
still. He might be frozen.
Yeah, like Brent froze. While he's frozen, I just wanted to make sure everybody saw, I went ahead and posted, FHA has now allowed us to finance clients who have a social security number but are not a citizen. And as long as they have a permit to work here, we can get them a mortgage with 3% down. So I think that's huge to do a little video to your database. I know the minute I saw that go through, I texted a bunch of my clients that were that I know in the past wanted to rally family to buy, and they were like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited!" They were like so happy that they could get 2 or 3 people together now and get something nice and afford something really nice. So I did post the definition and some data in there. Oh, hi Brent, you're back.
I'm back.
I figured I'd ramble while you were frozen.
Good. Thank you. Whenever that happens, ramble. Every once in a while I have that connection. So good. I thought that was really creative. I used to do that. People wanted El Dorado Hills, I go, there are stunning homes in Cameron Park. They're like, I go, look, everyone's got champagne taste on a beer budget. I go, you want El Dorado Hills? I get you El Dorado Hills, but you're going to pay, man. You're going to pay in this market. I go, how about Rescue? Like, what's Rescue? It looks like El Dorado Hills, a little bit more rural. It's beautiful. And like, so do you know about Rescue? Do you know about, like, everyone wants Newcastle and Loomis, but you know about Penryn. Penryn looks like Newcastle, smells like Newcastle, but it's Penryn. And the agents who aren't savvy, they are not looking in Penryn. And it's literally like Granite Bay and Folsom. They touch. It's like Granite Bay and Loomis. They touch. Penryn is awesome. So you want to earn it, you better learn it. You better get creative. And I would tell people all the time they couldn't afford Roosevelt Rockland. I'm like, I know this little piece of, it's right there by Auburn, Folsom, and Hazel. Stunning. You could throw a rock and hit East Roseville, you could throw a rock and hit Granite Bay, you could throw a rock and hit Orangeville. It's just tucked there. It's stunning, $1 million, stunning. They're like, really? I go, yeah, I'm gonna show you homes over there. We go look, I wanna make an offer. Is this East Roseville? Is it Granite Bay? Is it Orangeville? No, it's Citrus Heights. So you gotta learn not to say Citrus Heights and go show them Citrus Heights. There's something called Roosevelt Point. If they can't afford Roseville, you take them, hey, I got some homes I wanna show you in Roosevelt Point. Okay, they move in. Looks exactly like West Roseville. It says Roosevelt Point because they're smart. It is Citrus Heights, but they called it, because they're no dummies, Roosevelt Point. And it stucco tile roof, looks like any home in West Roseville. You think you're in West Roseville, you're in Citrus Heights. So it's time to get savvy. It's time to get smart, think on your feet, show them, as Alicia said, other opportunities like Jackson, right? What's that place out by, oh my gosh, the golf course? It's south of El Dorado Hills. It's a golf course community.
Rancho Murrieta.
Rancho Murrieta, thank you. I just momentarily blanked. What? Let's go show you Rancho Murrieta. And it's stunning. But you're so trying El Dorado Hills, you're forcing a round peg in a square hole. Stop it. or they're pigeonholing. Go ahead, Alicia. I saw you want to say something. Go ahead.
I was gonna say now's a good time to bust out like 203Ks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but I've been bringing that up to a lot of people because then they can understand, hey, go find something that needs a lot of work and you can finance 6 months of the mortgage payment. But nobody else might want that. And if you're willing to pick out the faucets and pick out the flooring and whatever, then, and now that loan can go up to 598. So it's just getting a little bit, like you said, creative.
So in other words, they'll give you 6 months and they give you $200,000 or $100,000 to remodel the house, right?
Up to 598 loan amount. So if you buy for, even if you buy for 350, you can add square footage, you can add decks, you can even finance washer, dryer, refrigerator, and all that stuff.
You got the studs and rebuild, have a brand new home and no competition because everyone's turning up their nose at it because it's got broken windows, the kitchen's nasty, the carpet you're walking through, you're like, ooh, are there fleas? But see, you got this is what sales is. You can say, we're going to rip this thing to the studs and we're going to build you this. Show them pictures of model homes. Do you want this? Because we have the contractors that could do it. Alicia could do the loan for you. No competition. And you can help them. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's called a 203K. Talk to Alicia Blackwood if you want to know more about it. It's getting creative. Okay. Darcy logged on. Darcy Stratton, what's going on? How are you? She's got to unmute her mic there. She's on her iPhone.
Good morning.
Good morning. So what do you do, Darcy, when you're showing property and people want Auburn, they want Newcastle, Loomis, Penryn? What do you do to get creative? Do you mention Meadow Vista? Do you mention Colfax? Do you talk about cool California? We're talking about promoting outlying areas where there's not so much pressure on the market. There's pressure everywhere, but what do you do, Darcy? Because you're very successful.
I have one actually right now. So we're kind of going over to Georgetown and we'll get our insurance, all of our information beforehand. We're like, yep. And then now you have, instead of 14 offers, you may have 2 offers or no offers at all. I also got to show property in the snow for the first time in 13 years. I took them up to Grass Valley. I'm like, this is beautiful up here. And now they're hooked on Grass Valley. And we were way down the hill before. And now we're sticking just to Grass Valley. So it's kind of fun.
You can teach them how to play a banjo, all that kind of stuff. Georgetown, oh my God, that is you are reaching deep. You shocked me when you said Georgetown. I know Georgetown. And let's just say if you need meth, go to Georgetown. Anyways, it's a lovely rural area. You're going to love it. Not that I've ever bought meth. I have not bought meth. Let's not go there. But trust me, that's where they make it. I know that.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's changing, Brent. It's changing.
Is it? See,
I don't know.
Thank you,
actually
Darcy. It's changing because Darcy's moving there with their kids. They don't have lemonade stands there. They have meth stands. Here, you want some lemonade, meth master? I'm just kidding. I'm teasing.
Hey, Brent, now I'm understanding that weight loss that you've been experiencing.
I'm strung out. Anyway, it's so funny. No, it's called lots of water and not eating the bad stuff. And I got my Optavia popcorn snack. I just had it through MetaFast. Yummy. It was good. 70 whopping calories. Okay, shifting gears. Seller psychology. So we know the buyers, a lot of you didn't hit it, but buyers are freaked out. Buyers are like, oh my God, what do I got to do? They get discouraged. What do I do to win? But what I love when a buyer loses a deal or two, they get really coachable. They start getting coachable. They're not coachable until they get their handed to them once or twice. And then like, okay, what do I got to do? You need to bring them into the office. You need to sit their butts in a desk and you are the teacher. They are the student. You need to take control of the situation and say, you are going to get your little fanny handed to you again and again and again. Here's how we're going to win in a multiple offer situation. We're going to do a 10-day close. We're going to do no loan contingency, no appraisal contingency. We're going to do inspections in 9 days. We'll never remove our contingencies. We can put up $100,000 earnest money deposit. We talked about this last week, and we distract the seller and the listing agent with $100,000. Who does that? We're doing that. But the truth is they'll never touch it because we're closing so quick. We never remove contingencies, but that requires you to get your buyer down the road with Alicia and down the road with Jeff Sipes polishing their credit from Blue Water Credit. It requires you to do it. It's game time. You're going to step up to the plate. Go, no, it's hard. You know what? Life is hard. You know what? It ain't that tough. This is not the Great Depression. You're not standing in the soup line for 2 hours. You're not in line for a mile to get a gallon of gas like in 1979. It is hard, but it is not that hard. There's a great quote. It says, it is not because things are difficult that you do not try. It's because you do not try that things are difficult. That was Seneca. He even knew it 1,000 years ago. I'll say it again. It is not because things are difficult that you do not try. It's because you do not try that things are difficult. And man, you're capable of doing so much more. Dig deep, reach deep, and get out there and get it over. Massive action creates results. I'm going to have Jen Sanvos on in a little bit. She is killing it. She's absolutely killing it. I asked her to come on today. She's stepping away from a coaching she has. She hired a coach, pays a lot of money, and she's going to share some of the things she's doing. She's like never sold so much. And it's like, you should listen really close when she shares. Okay. And she's being her, she's being authentic and real, and she's having great success. She's like, you take John Jennings, he always looks good, always has the blazer on, always well kept, and she's just out there going for it, being a mama bear, doing what she does. And she's succeeding. John's succeeding. He always has it all together and organized. I have John Jennings envy. I look at him, he's Mr. Perfect, But the deal is, people just want authenticity. So if that's the way you are, be John. I'm somewhere in the middle, right? And then there's other people. They're like a snowball going down the mountain, which Jen Sanvos can be that way a little bit, but I think she just sold. Does anybody know how much she has in escrow? I mean, it's millions and millions and millions of dollars. She's killing it. And I hope it just irritates the living tar out of you. I hope you get so aggravated because you go, if she can do it, I can do it. That should be your attitude. I remember I was feeling sorry for myself because I was feeling sorry for myself that I was feeling sorry for myself. You notice the trend? It's like, I'm feeling good about myself because I'm feeling good about myself because I'm feeling good about myself. You be grateful or bitter, happy or full of hate, full of love or full of anger. You got to decide what you're going to focus on. Write this down. You get to decide what you focus on. You absolutely get to decide what you focus on. If you decide what's wrong with your husband, good luck. I can nitpick my wife. I can decide, I can focus on all of my wife's flaws. She is not perfect. And guess what? You guys know me. I'm not perfect. You can focus on why everything I do wrong. I'm not perfect. You know what? Yes, people have those issues, but focus on what's good about Alicia Blackwood. Focus on what's good about Jeff Seitz, about Missy Taylor, about Erica, about Joanna, about Fausto, about Valerie. Darcy, you can't think of much. But no, I'm kidding, Darcy. I love you. Who doesn't love Darcy? But here's the deal. Focus on what's good. Thank God for the air you breathe. The day, it might be storming, wet and closed, but it's raining in the valley. It's going to produce a beautiful spring. We need the water, you got to go there. So what I want to do is talk a little bit about sellers. So buyers are in this panic scarcity mode. Does it wave your hand at me if that's kind of true with buyers? And they're more coachable because they're getting their butts kicked. So sellers, what is the psychology of a seller right now? Are they worried about selling their property? As far as, can a woman buy it? Are they kind of cocky? Maybe like, oh, I'm going to get top dollar for this, baby. What is the seller? Then you got to work about the appraisal issues. Share with me some of the things you've seen sellers. Where's their mindset for sellers? I want to hear from some of you. Yes, unmute your mic there, Darce and Steve. Steve, you go first, then Darce.
Well, it depends on what the sellers are going to do after they sell their house. If they're going to move out of state, they're motivated and they'll put their home on the market right away, because if they're moving to Idaho, Oregon, or Virginia, or Texas, the market is competitive there as well. So they're anxious to sell. Now, if they're looking to move, let's say out of the area, they're more motivated. But if, I think Missy indicated, but if they're looking to upgrade and move sell their house and buy another house in the area, they are panicked because they're afraid they won't be able to buy a house, much less, first of all, you got to find a house that you love. But if they find it, there's going to be 5 or 10 other people that want to buy the same thing. So I think that's where the chasm is right now.
Love it. Darce, what do you want to throw into that? That's brilliant too, Steve. Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree with you, Steve. That's awesome. So I think there's 2 types right now. We have the ones that are coachable, that listen to us, let us create the strategies. Like if I was going to list my house right now, I wouldn't ask top dollar of my home. I may even put it a smidge in an area where it could create so much craziness that I want the 50 offers. I want someone who's going to pay $100,000 over the appraised value. Like that's what I would do. But then I have these other sellers who are like, I have $1 million home, but I know it's not updated. So I'm going to drop it 50K and I want 950 when it's really only worth 799. So we have some that are full of this, like, I know what my home is worth and it doesn't matter what you say. And I deserve top dollar because the market's crazy. And then others who are like, what's our strategy? Okay, let's do it in 4 days. Okay, got it. So I don't know. You have to kind of, gauge people if they want to do it the hard way or they want to do it kind of the easy way.
There you go. And look for coachable clients. Like I have a guy, he offered me a $4 million listing. He's still building it, a past client. And he goes, I don't want to put it on the market, but if you could bring me a buyer. And he's like, it's just, so when it's getting a little crazy, sometimes you need to step away because that listen to that voice inside you. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to start a contest, and Cindy Silva got here just in time. Darcy, John, everybody. So here's the contest, Steve Evans and the rest of you. Here's the contest. There'll be 3 winners, not 1, not 2, but 3. But whoever lists the most homes in the month of February, I'm going to pay for a weekend at Napa on me at the Archer. I'm going to put you in a suite with the fireplace. It's multiple rooms, spas, walk-in showers, giant tubs. It is like, 4-post bed, hit a button, the screens open, they close. This is high-end, super nice. My treat. We'll put you there Saturday night, and you get there Saturday morning, go wine tasting, play. I'm going to take you to dinner wherever you want to go, or pay for you. I mean, if I can be there, great. But this is for you and your husband, you and your wife. This is something for you to do. So I will pay for dinner anywhere but the French Laundry. Sorry. Anyways, but there's some really nice restaurants in Napa. So we'll put you pick something amazing, cuisine, enjoy an evening. I'm going to spend a fortune at dinner on you, put you up in a suite, corner suite at the Archer. It's my favorite hotel in downtown Napa. You can walk everywhere. You're right there in downtown Napa, very safe. And so get there Saturday at 10 or 11 in the morning, be there all day, spend the evening, the next day have brunch, hang out all day Sunday and come home. So it'll be like a Saturday, Sunday event. And whoever lists, every one of you that I can see, there's 26 of you here, whoever lists the most homes in the month of February, I will treat you to that. Plus I'm going to pay for wine tasting in a wine cave.
Just put my name down now.
If you've ever done wine tasting in a wine cave, it's super fun. They do barrel tasting, literally reach in the barrel, they pull it out. I mean, it's really different. And so it's going to be a great experience. There'll be 3 winners, but here's what you do. If you want to participate in this, you have to talk to 10 people a day, every day for the month of February. And so there's only 28 days in February. So we're going to start it the last 2 days of January, because I want you to talk to 10 people a day. You can talk about interest rates. You just have to say you're meeting, you're having lunch, and you're just chatting with Rachel over here. And you're going to go, so what do you do, Rachel? Oh, I'm a victims advocate for Placer County, blah, 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 blah. And, oh, wow, I'm a real estate agent. I'm just curious. What do you think of this real estate market? Oh my gosh, it's crazy. My husband and I are trying to buy a home, or I'm single, but I'm trying to buy a home. It's so hard. I go, oh my gosh, I'm selling homes like crazy. What do you want? I am like the connected agent for Placer County. You want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath? What do you want? Your first home? I will get you one. You're just literally, I don't even know her. She's at the booth next to me, but okay, there's one. She's like, I don't think much of real estate. Why are you talking to me? Bye. That's one. I did one. The dry cleaner, 2, the dentist, they're in your mouth, you clean your teeth. Oh, what do you think of interest rates? Have you refied? No, we're about to move and go to Idaho because we're sick of politics in California. Oh, let me help you with that. There's 2. Or they're like, are you with me? Anything. You have 10 discussions a day. And you just do one day at a time. How do you know if it? One bite at a time. If you do this each day, 10 discussions. The checker, the guy looks like he's 16. He might be one of those 22-year-olds with a young face, or say, you know, my parents were talking about listing their house, or the bagger hears you and go, you know, I want to buy a house, or someone in line. I want you to do 10 conversations a day for 30 days. That's 300 conversations. And then I want you to tell them that you're in a contest and you have a goal to list X number of homes. I recommend 7. People don't meet people with goals. They meet people whose goal is to survive. They meet people whose goal is to exist. They meet people who are living to die, not dying to live. I am dying to live. You guys are dying to live. To have a Rolex watch, live in a mansion, Learjet? No. To make a difference, to love, to make a difference in the world. I help. You know, I don't know what you guys do. I mean, I do, but listen to me. I help buyers with the American dream of homeownership. And I'm telling you, I have people cry, they hug me, they invite me back for the 4th of July. This is what I do. I help people realize their dream of homeownership. And I help real estate agents and brokers pay off their mortgage. I help agents and brokers with the dream of having private schools for their kids. See it, Coldwell Banker, Remax, Keller Williams, and Realty One, and everybody else. We all help people with the American dream. But at EXP, we do that. But we help agents with their dreams. We help brokers and associates with their dreams. That's what we do that plus. What do you do? What do you do? I know what I do. It's not just all about the American dream for buyers. I did it for 20 years, decade after decade. Do you know where it got me? It got me having to just bust my tail the 21st year. But in year 21, I did what I always do. I struggled. I figured, how do I talk to people about EXP? This is weird. This is awkward. I had people say, I'm not wanting some pyramid thing. Why don't even call me? I had maybe 12 people that were rude that first year. I talked to 312 were rude. I didn't like it either. I realized some people will be rude to you. Listen to me. Hurt people, hurt people. Let it go. They're not attacking you. They hate their miserable life. When even a dog, a golden retriever, a sweet dog, if he's got an injured paw and you touch it and it shoots pain in his paw, he's going to nip at you. A sweet, kind dog will bite you and draw blood because they're injured, right? Hurt people, hurt people. Stop taking it so personal when somebody gets in your face because you call them on an expired listing. If you call me, who are you? I will report you to, I'm gonna sue you. What company? Remax, Keller Williams. I've had 14, you meet those people. You imagine being married to that person? You know, could you imagine that's your girlfriend, that's your boyfriend, that's your uncle? We all have, think of some family members. We all have those family members that are just freaking mean, or they're just so focused on what's wrong instead of what's right. And being grateful, go for a walk and just start thanking God or whatever it is. For me, it's God. If you're agnostic or atheistic, thank yourself, thank the world, whatever you do, but be thankful. How many of us are attracted to a thankful heart? Or do we love people who are angry and bitter and not grateful? And why aren't you doing this for me? And Debbie Penny didn't approve my advertising. And Glenn Sanford, if he just do this, and he brings so much energy to stuff that you can't do a thing about. Bring energy to recruiting and getting listings and helping buyers with the dream of American homeownership. But just don't help only the buyers and only the sellers. Go out there and help agents, but they don't want my help. They're mean. They push me away. I get it. I talked to 200, 151 said no, not now, maybe later. But then there was a later, but I kept moving. Listen, if you're going through hell, just don't stay there. I kept on trucking on down the road, and then people started getting on my freight train. Now it's the Brent Gove freight train, and we're jamming, man. We're going around the world. It is such a big, bright, beautiful future. So I want to say this for my contest. It's the month of February. Whoever lists the most homes, 3 of you will stay at the Archer at a corner suite. I will put you up at like Cole's Chop House in Napa. Mwah. Tarla's Mediterranean Cuisine. I'm forgetting a few others, but there's some pretty amazing experiences. Order a bottle of wine, $200-300 bottle of wine. I don't care. Have a good time. And then the wine tasting cave. It'll be a special weekend, and you should go for it. Don't say, "Oh, I can." This and that. You know what? You may find out people actually like you. You're likable. You just got to learn to like yourself, not in a narcissistic way. See, self-loathing doesn't serve the world. It won't serve you. It won't serve your children or your children's children. You got to be okay with the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror. You got to go, I'm not perfect, but you don't look at the mirror and go, look at how beautiful you are. Come here, you. I'm not talking about narcissism, but I'm talking about being okay with you, that God made you the way he made you. I'm totally different from James. And I thank God James isn't like me. And I'm like, I am very different from Barry. Barry's dairy. I thank God made Barry the way he made Barry, and the way we're all different. God has a sense of humor. I have all these kids. They are different, man. It's like raised in the same house, but like, oh my God, I got conservative Republicans. I got liberal, fairy-wary Democrats. I got my one daughter wants to save the world, save reefs. If you drop a piece of trash, I pick up trash. But oh my God, if she saw me drop a piece of trash, she's into solar energy, electric power. She is a flaming green. And I don't want to destroy the world. I care about our environment, but she is next level. And I was like, where did this come from? I don't know. But you know what? Fall in love with people. Fall in love with their idiosyncrasies. Your clients, do your clients know you love them? So again, set your goal and tell them, I have a goal this month to list 3 homes. I need your help. People don't hear from people. It's a sign of humility. I don't want to ask nobody for nothing. Really? Cocky, proud. Stop it. Ask for help. I have a goal to sell 7 homes this month, 10 homes this month. I need your help. Do you know anybody thinking about buying a home, maybe an investment home, possibly putting their home on the market? Can you think of anybody? Nope, got nothing. Okay, Steve Evans. Well, I'll tell you what, if you do think of a buyer and they buy, I'll give you a $300 gift card. What's your favorite restaurant in Sacramento? Steve, I'll unmute your mic. Watch this. Steve, what's your favorite restaurant in Sacramento? Like everyone knows for me, my birthday, where is Brent going? Anybody know? Where is Brent going if you know me?
Ruth
Wrong. You know
Chris
me close. That's
McCooney.
number 2. It's McCooney's. Ruth Chris is number 2.
I got you, baby.
McCooney's. I love sushi. Jen and I are always taking pictures of sushi. She knows. But and you were close. It is number 2, but it's McCooney's. So Rachel, where's your? I don't think I ever finished. Steve, where's your favorite restaurant?
I was going to say Ruth's Chris.
Beautiful. I love it. It's number 2 for me. Rachel, where's your favorite restaurant? If you could go anywhere in Sacramento, money's no option.
Morton's.
There you go. See, I would not have thought of Morton's. So to her, Morton's is a big deal. I told my hairstylist, you get me someone to list their home, one of your neighbors, I will give you a $200 gift card to $200. I got the listing. I made $12,000. I gave her a $200 gift card she wanted to go to Ruth Chris. And how many of you pay $200 to make $12,000? Anybody there? So you could say every buyer that buys, when they close, I will give you a $300 gift card, Steve, 300, unlimited. You send me 2 or 3, I'll give you 2 or 3. But if it's a seller, Steve, and that's really what my goal is. My goal specifically is to list 3 homes or 5 homes or 7 homes or 17 homes or 30 homes. Don't let me limit you. It's up to you, right? My goal is I could use your help. If anyone lists their home with me, the second they sign the contract, we don't have to close, I will give you a $500 gift card. How many of you would pay $500 for an $800,000 listing? $800,000 listing is like a $24,000 commission at 3%. Who here would spend $500 to make $24,000? Raise your hand. I'm gonna see hands up. You would all do it. So are you incentivizing people to refer you buyers and sellers? Now, if you put that on Facebook or Instagram or something, you can't do that. Do we say thank you to people all the time and send them to dinner? All the time. But you cannot like come up with, oh, that's brilliant. Do radio, TV, Facebook ads. You can't do that because it's considered commission by the Department of Real Estate somehow. You saying thank you and giving someone a dinner is considered commission. So you cannot come up with a written, here's my plan, but you can say, people, if this happens, I want to say thank you. They can't stop us from saying thank you and sending somebody to dinner after the deal's closed or whatever. They cannot stop you from doing that. But I'm telling you right now, that is not a written program. And so, let me do this.
Brent, who has a question? Do we have
Yeah.
time for this question?
Yes.
So I have a client who wants to buy a house with a granny lot in Placerville, Garden Valley, maybe Shingle Spring somewhere. And is there an option where we can find one house with the land and finance along, like within the one loan we can finance along to build the second home on there, like for a granny?
Alicia would be your person to ask. That's a definite lender question. Barry would probably know as well. Alicia, say that. Did you hear what she said, or say it? You want her to say it one more time, Alicia?
What I think you just said is if you buy a property, but they want to put a second unit on it.
Yeah, like a granny lot.
Well, depending, my recommendation, because when it comes to financing and secondary units, it's kind of tricky. A lot of times I see people will put like a manufactured home, or we even looked into like tiny homes as an example. You can do it. You can do a 203K to add more square footage. They don't necessarily let you specifically add a separate unit, but like my house here, there's like a roof that connects it, and they made like an outdoor little hangout spot. And then the second unit, you know, there's like a breezeway to get to it. So you can do that, but again, the max loan's $598 to do so.
Okay, yeah, that's their budget. They want to stay under 600.
That might work. That might be a way to do it. Okay, I'm going to switch gears on you guys here, because oh, by the way, if you know people who are connected in the Bay Area, say any buyer that moves here, I'll give you $300. They buy a home for $1 million. You can't buy anything in the Bay Area for the million. Here, they could buy the Taj Mahal for $1 million, and you get a $30,000 commission. How many would spend $300 for a $30,000 commission? Start incentivizing people to really remind you want to reinforce good behavior. They give you a buyer, doesn't work out, give them a $100 gift card, give them a $100 bill. And they're like, oh my gosh, but it didn't even work out. I know, but I'm really grateful that you thought of me. Guess what? They're going to refer you 10 people because you gave them $100. Don't give them 520s. Give them a nice crisp $100 bill, thank you card. It means so much that you actually tried to me. Guess what? They're going to give you 2 or 3 now. For you paid $33 over. And those Bay Area buyers, they come in and they buy 5 to $1 million to 1.5 million all day long. You know, you guys with me? Okay, we're gonna switch gears. I asked Jen Stanfos to prepare a 5-10 minute kind of volley. She's just killing it. And I hope some of you are irritated beyond irritated when you hear her speak. I hope it just bugs you to no end, because she's got nothing on you and nobody has anything on anyone. It's us selling ourselves short. I can't, I won't, I'm not capable, I'm not like that. You can kill it if you're willing to step up to the plate. And Jen has done that. I'm really impressed. So Jen, unmute your mic and share for 5 or 10 minutes. Tell us what you've done. Like, what do you have in escrow? How much you've sold, whatever, just recently.
You'd asked me to share how much volume I did last year, right? And then how much volume I have in escrow right now. Is that right?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
So last year, I had a goal of 10 million. For me, that I recall, I've never hit double digits. And so sure enough, I finished just over 10,100,000 or whatever. So I hit that goal. So I was like, great. Well, now I need to go bigger, because if I hit it, it wasn't big enough. And so my coach, Randy Bird, was like, oh, well, most people go 25 to 30%. He goes, so let's go 13 million. And I was like, well, I don't like that number. One, I'm already teed up with all this stuff coming up my pipeline, and I've decided I don't want to do 13. So we kicked it up to 14 million. So,
and I don't like the number 13 anyways. I just changed
I know. So I was like,
Oh,
I don't want 13. Let's go bigger. So I'm at 14 million, but I already have closed in January. I've already closed over 3 million, and I have about another 5 million in escrow right now, whether it's in escrow or a list agreement or whatever is coming down the pipeline. And then on top of that, I'm still, I'm still working. I'm still having to put all these things in place so that I can continue my pipeline, continue growing. Because man, if I can hit that.
Let me time out. Your goal is to do 14 million. You've closed 3 million. You've got 5 million in the pipeline. That's 8 million. That's over half of your goal already, and it's January. You may want to up that goal to 20 million. Now, I've been talking to her about that actually being the wrong goal. And most real estate coaches, it's always do more, do more, do more, do more. I ask people, look, do you have enough money? Well, yeah, I have plenty of money. And so, okay, why don't you sponsor agents? Why don't you do the one thing that'll matter 4 years from now? Jen, you could do 50 million this year, and 4 years from now it will not matter. You'll be cranking and working hard. I've been 20 years later. So I'm not saying not to sell homes. If you need money, go sell homes. But if you've kind of solved some of that and you've paid off your cars, you've paid off your credit cards, and I would take the energy to go to 20 million, Jen, leave it at 14 million, but then go And she's doing exactly that. She's actually focused on agent traction. So, but before we get into agent traction, tell them what you're doing. Do you create 3 million's worth of closings and 5 million the hopper? Like, how are you swimming and navigating?
So most of my business is referral, word of mouth, stuff like that, right? However, I've gotten really creative with doing off-market things. And Marguerite Crispillo and I did she's doing a real estate 101. And so on the team page, I already emailed it to Rob, but I can put it on there too. There's about a 1 hour Zoom that we did, and it's 5 free ways to get business now. And it goes over all sorts of creative ways. And oddly enough, while we were doing it, I came up with more ideas that I was just spouting off as we're talking that came to my head that I've never even done, but I was like, that's a really good idea. So, and if you don't have buyers right now, if you don't have listings right now, my best tip is borrow everybody else's. Ask Cindy, ask Darcy, ask Alicia. I will flat out say, what buyers do you have? Who do you have approved? What do you have going on? I'll go find the listing for you. And I will call and call and call, because that's also different, right? You're not calling expireds or off markets, just going, please sell your house with me. It's, I have a buyer for you. Or go through EXP's express offer program, because then you have the largest cash investor in the entire United States in your back pocket. You don't have to have clients now to figure out how to make calls and make it more of a warm situation than a cold situation. And even with COVID, we went over like digital door knocking instead of door knocking in person. There's so many things that you can do, but the point is to just do it. And if, like Brent said, I am nothing special. Most of you have known me for a long time. I've been in real estate 18 years, but in and out, having babies and kids and homeschool. And I've had to work my butt off. And I finally have, after all these years, like a why that's big enough to me that I am like enraged with, like, I'm gonna make this work and get it done. And the funny thing is it was something Brent said to me probably Brent, like 3 years ago, and I laughed at him. And it does kind of, is it okay to switch gears and to tell that little story?
Sure.
Okay, so that does shift into the agent attraction. A few years ago, I can't remember whether it was when we were on a double date or who knows, but Brent said, so for those that don't know, my husband's in the Department of Corrections, a correctional officer. And my husband loves what he does. He was in the military, now he's an officer. He's just built to do that. However, so Brent said to me, well, how much would you have to have in revenue share to bring your husband home? And he wouldn't have to work there. And I laughed at him. I was like, why would we do that? Like, he's got pension, he's got the insurance, he's got all of this. Well, enter COVID. And then COVID hit his prison. I've never seen that man in his almost 19 years of being there been so miserable. And he's out of that funk now, but it made me mad. It made me mad that if I had done something when Brent teased that little part of me a couple years ago, but I didn't take him seriously. I was like, that's ridiculous. Why would we do that? And so although I still have to adjust my plan because we are close to his insurance, the original goal got switched back because of EXP. My husband's learned stock, all sorts of stuff. So he can retire at 50. But if Randy and I already did the numbers of it, if I recruit 12 agents this year and 12 agents next year, like that's how stupid low it is. My husband can retire in 2.5 years instead of 4.5. And so everything is now I'm doing, that's why I'm not in the meetings as much. You'll have to forgive me. But for the next 90 days, I'm in 2-hour classes every Thursday for 2 hours, doing just learning how to do agent attraction. And although, yes, I had the advantage of being friends with Brent and being next to him, it took COVID and going through something odd for me to finally go, no more. Like, I want him out of that hellhole, and I have the means to do it if I would just, everything else that Brent teaches me, I take it, I learn it, I go. Why I've avoided the recruiting thing, it's total mindset for me, but my word for this year is believe, because I think I need to believe in myself that I can do it. And it's really changed how I talk to people about it, how I talk to people about real estate. Yes, I'm still obviously selling real estate, but if I can get my husband home in that amount of time and help change other people's lives in the process, that is just like, that's golden for me.
And you could probably use some help because you guys have 3 kids? How many kids do you have, Jen?
We have 6. I do have, I have a full-time nanny. We have house cleaners here twice a week. Landscaper that helps once in a while. I just hired a full-time, part-time admin, but she'll probably have to go full-time pretty fast.
That's awesome.
And I had just hired Debbie Salisbury to do closing manager. And I have Randy Bird coaching me, and that's been huge because he keeps me focused on, Jen, what did you hire me for? What did you hire me for? What do you want? And in amongst all that, Zach's also starting a coffee roasting business. So I'm supporting him. I'm his investor. So
Nice.
I have to go sell houses to buy him a big expensive coffee roasting machine. But
I love coffee roasting and sushi and Napa. Hey, real quick. You said you posted 5 things you could do during COVID on lead gen
post the
in the team
YouTube.
page.
I'll post the YouTube link right now.
And you're putting that Brent Gove team page?
Yep.
Awesome. And can you put it in the chat bar here?
Ooh, let me see if I'm fancy enough to figure that one out.
All right. Does anybody have questions for Jen and what she's doing to create this business right now? Fire away. I mean, if anyone has a question for her or thoughts.
Can I do one shameless plug? If you go and watch the YouTube video, my other goal for the year is to figure out YouTube and how to figure it out. And I'm still totally learning. I have 2 subscribers. So I'll get total brownie points from Randy Bird if I even manage to get to 4. So when you go and look at it, just hit subscribe. I'm still learning, so bear with me, but I'm getting there.
We can support you in that. So what would be, you remember when you were new to real estate or you've been in for a year or 2 or 3, but you're not getting the traction you want. You remember those days, right?
I've been there, done that.
And you've been in real estate how long now?
18 years. I'm in my 18th year.
All right. So what one thing could people do that are watching this that would really help them get their feet under them in real estate? As we wrap this up today, what one thing do you think would really help them have a breakthrough?
Conversations. Like, believe in yourself. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable, whether that's doing COVID compliant open houses and go to Chris Sakamora, I'm doing 30 in 30 days, whether that's digital door knocking and you're making calls, whether you're standing in the line at Costco and I don't care what it is, what do you have to do? You have to have those conversations. Call your family members and just say, hey, how are you doing? I'm having a competition, whatever it may be. I love it when Brent does that stuff. Every coach does that because it gives you a reason to call them, but you have to have conversations. I don't care if it's on Facebook Messenger, have conversations, ask people for help. They want to help you. And if they're competitive, like I'm obviously not, they're going to be like, oh, you're having a competition. Let me help you win that. Like, let's get this. They'll want to help you. So conversations, I don't care how you have to have them, figure it out. If I can figure it out with 6 kids, homeschooling, and a farm and all that other stuff. And it's not like I just started real estate and never had any issues or never had bad spots. Brent has known me for 23 years or something like that. There was a time where we went on a Maui trip and we came back and I had to take 2 or 3 months off. And then Zach got sick and he had to be home. And I went from nothing to 13 sales in 30 days. And that was back before like Facebook and all this stuff. I had to get gritty. I had to go and work my butt off doing open houses and figuring it out. So if I can do it, like anybody can. It's not, I mean, I am not a genius.
Oh yeah. So
can I share something really quick?
yes.
Jen, where are you working with Chris or what are you doing? You were talking about the attraction a couple hours a day. Tell me about that program, please. I want to know about that.
That is, so I coach with Randy Bird. I don't know if you were on back in November. I think Brent had him on as a gift, or as a guest. And I had the advantage of meeting Randy Bird a year or so ago, probably 2 years ago at an EXP event. And so he is someone that I hired back in November as a coach. And so he has like an invite only mastery thing that I've been invited to because I'm one of his coaching clients. So I don't want to step on his toes. I can't really invite people to it and stuff, but Brent has, I believe, recording somewhere of a mastermind group he did down in Vacaville a couple of years ago or something. But if you wanted to, I would just, if I would think he invites his coaching clients, so I can't invite people for it. But it's anything you do to learn about recruiting and learn from people is better than doing nothing. And for me, I needed someone that was, although I had the advantage of knowing Brent, I think because we were friends, it wasn't sinking in properly. And so,
sometimes it's the old prophet has no honor in his hometown. And sometimes you just need to hire some. So there's Randy Bird. I can connect anybody here to Randy Bird. Just reach out to me privately, shoot me a text. I will not get your email. You're wasting your time if you email me. But if you text me, I'll connect you to Randy. You can ask him what he'll coach you in real estate or he'll coach you in agent attraction. He's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in his organizations, brokers. Probably in this year, I think over 1,000. And so that's pretty good. Plus, he's a famous Tom Ferry real estate coach.
He
Can help
was,
you
yeah.
with real estate and agent attraction. So if you're interested in that, I sponsored Randy. He's been a friend of mine for a decade. I knew him as a team leader, OP franchise owner from Keller Williams. He owned the Redding, Keller Williams. He owned Platinum Real Estate in Santa Rosa. And now he lives in Portland. I always call him my brother from another mother. He's a great big guy, a lot like me, gregarious. And I'm not really a good coach. I'm more of an inspirator, motivator, this and that. He's more methodical. He's more gifted in that area. I'm not patient enough for it. I'm like, just go do it. And that's not what people need all the time. Sometimes they need some systems. So Randy Bird's a good option. As we wrap this up though, Jen, thank you for sharing that. That was really powerful. Thank you. And so this Saturday is the 30th of January. So my contest starts this Saturday. Get psyched up and go, I don't know anything about real estate, but I'm going to just go to 10 people today. Here's the script. Wow, what do you think about this crazy real estate market? You could say that to someone getting groceries. You could say that to someone picking up your mail at Midas Muffler, getting a new muffler, Jiffy Lube, getting oil change. Wow, what do you think about this crazy real estate market? Just start talking. 10 of those conversations today. Over 30 days, 300 conversations. You will pick up buyers. You will pick up listings. You're putting yourself on the path of progress. Don't get in your head. If you're in your head, you're dead. Progress before perfection. There's the script. What do you think of this crazy real estate market? Oh my God, interest rates are so low. Have you refied? Well, actually, we're thinking about moving to Idaho. Really, I'm an expert appraiser. Let me help you with that. You can call the bank and they'll give you a bad one. They look back 6, 12 months, prices are exploding. I'll tell you what it's worth now. You'll be shocked. You see what I mean? But I sound good because I've done it a bunch. You'll sound good too. And that went really quick and it's not quite that fast, but I'm just trying to give you that. So listen to me. The next 30 days could change the rest of your life. There's only one reason you won't do this. Okay, there are many. Lack of motivation, fear, you're lazy, blah, 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 blah. You have the time. You can't tell me you don't have time. You could do this. And I'm telling you, you will not be the same person in 30 days. You'll have your mojo. Mojo is a scientific word developed by NASA. It's called mojo. Everything you touch turns to gold. Some of you desperately need mojo. If I could put it in this cup and pour it into you, I would. Mojo is something from within. You get the mojo. And so 10 a day, I don't care about anything, credit repair, loans. I heard about this 2 or 3. Oh my gosh, they give up to 600,000. You can buy a little chicken coop and make it amazing on an acre in Loomis. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Did you know about that? Oh, let me have you talk to my friend Alicia. I'll call her right now. Boom, and then Alicia throws them back to you. I'm telling you, the next 30 days can propel you into a future you never even dreamed about. But the question is, will you sell yourself on why you shouldn't, why you couldn't, why you won't, why you're incapable, or will you just buck up and do it? And I'm calling you out right here, right now. I want you to buck up, put on your big girl pants, your big boy, throw the shoulders back, chest out, and go kill something and drag it home to the family and feed your family. You will never, ever be the same again. Contest starts this Saturday. Go for it. Believe. Why not me? I think you'll be shocked. Send me a text message if you're going to participate. I want you, I'm talking to you. I want you to send me a text message. Hey, Brent, I'm going to do it. I don't know much about real estate, or I'm new, or I've been doing it 14 years. I should be doing better. I'm doing 916-223-5555 is my cell phone number. 916-223-5555. Send me a text message, not an instant message. I get them every 2 weeks. They're not instant. Not a Facebook message. I'm never on Facebook. Not an email. It's a black hole. Send me a text message and say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the challenge. I want to be a different me in 30 days. I want my mojo. I'm sick and tired of not having mojo, baby. Give me some mojo. Give me some mojo. Man,
Come on.
I should take steroids or something. Anyways, that's with like 2 cups of coffee today. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon out here. I'm 4 hours ahead, but I love you all. I want you to have the life of your dreams, but you have to step up and freaking step into it and earn it. And then it's who you become. It's a beautiful thing. I love you all. Have a great day. See everybody. We're out of here. Put the music on, Rob. Let's crank